Nintendo just randomly announced a brand new Paper Mario game coming to the Nintendo Switch very soon, but before we get into that, there are a few things we need to talk about because I've been getting lots of questions from you guys. RGT85, you say you're a video game channel, yet you did not cover the PlayStation 5 Unreal Engine 5 trailer from yesterday. Why didn't you cover this? You're just a Nintendo fanboy, blah, 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 blah. Look, there are reasons for why I do things, but you know what? We are going to talk about that trailer a little bit before we get into this Paper Mario thing. Now, before that, I just want to say, to me, yesterday there was an even more impressive announcement than the Unreal Engine 5, and that's something that not a lot of people are talking about. That is Mafia Definitive Edition coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Now, this game will be coming out on August 28th, and look at the graphics of this game. You guys want to talk about graphics? Look at this game. This game looks absolutely stunning. If you played the original Mafia game, it was an awesome game. I actually really like the Mafia franchise. I remember when games like Mafia, The Godfather, Scarface were all sort of having this resurgence on the PlayStation 2, and all these games were just so much fun, and Mafia was definitely a very fun game. But look at this definitive edition in terms of graphics. This game looks absolutely stunning, and we know one thing about it: this is an actual video game. This is something that we will be playing. This is something that is tangible. So this, to me, was probably the more exciting announcement from yesterday. Not to downplay what we saw with the PlayStation 5 and the Unreal Engine 5 trailer. We of course got this beautiful introduction to the world of Unreal Engine 5. That will be an engine that is used on next generation consoles, current generation consoles, and even down to things like iOS and Android, because if you know anything about the Unreal Engine, it is a very scalable engine. Now, we got this presentation during Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest that showcased what the Unreal Engine 5 was capable of. Now, this was running natively on the PlayStation 5. This was a tech demo, which is something we really need to keep in mind, and that showed basically sort of like almost a Tomb Raider style game. You're going through these huge caverns, seeing all this cool stuff, amazing photorealistic looking backgrounds, of course very intense lighting that is only capable on Unreal Engine 5, and everything looked very, very awesome. So why didn't I talk about it? Because it's a tech demo. Okay, I'm an old man. I don't know if you guys realize this. The 85 is because that's the year I was born in my name. So I've been around the block for a while, and I have seen a lot of tech demos. Tech demos from CD-based systems during the cartridge era, where it was showing these awesome graphics that couldn't be done on cartridge-based systems, but those systems never really met that full potential. Systems like the 3DO and the M2, which of course never released. So I've seen a lot of tech demos over the years because I've followed video games, whether it be video game magazines or the rise of the internet. Now, I thought what we saw with the Unreal Engine 5 was absolutely gorgeous, but even looking at things like the Unreal Engine 3 and the Unreal Engine 4 trailers, when those first came out, you saw a lot of stuff that never really made its way quite into video games. You could still watch the Unreal Engine 3 trailer and be absolutely blown away by it, and I believe that came out in 2011. So almost 10 years ago, we were introduced to Unreal Engine 3, and I don't know if we ever really got that sort of immersement that we saw in that trailer within video games. Maybe towards the tail end of the life cycle, you could say games like The Last of Us 2 or maybe Death Stranding definitely sort of started to push different engines and things like that. Obviously, Unreal Engine 3, Unreal Engine 4, and Unreal Engine 5 are all within the Unreal Engine family, so you can scale these things based on these engines. But I just thought it was very fascinating how so many people were talking about the PlayStation 5 tech demo from yesterday and just buying right into it. Like, I get it, you know, the Xbox Series X, what we saw from the Xbox Series X, a lot of people were questioning whether that was really next generation stuff or not. Now, Unreal Engine 5 will not be available until 2021, so I feel like Unreal Engine 5 games are definitely a ways off when it comes to actually being able to make games on it. I'm not saying that the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo was not impressive. That's the whole point of a tech demo, is to be impressive. But a lot of people just seem to think that this is what games are going to look like day one on the PlayStation 5, and I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by thinking that, because of the fact that games are going to take quite a while to get to this point. It's definitely very impressive, definitely a glimpse into the future of video games. So I sort of want to wrap up my thoughts on the PlayStation 5 Unreal Engine 5 reveal with this one question to you guys. A lot of people on the internet were upset that Assassin's Creed Valhalla was going to run at a baseline of 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series Series X. It doesn't seem like that game is going to hit the 60 frames per second mark. But those same people seem to be praising this presentation from yesterday. But did you know that the presentation that we saw for the Unreal Engine 5 was actually at 1440p and 30 frames per second? Of course not, because you're just watching this game. You're sort of becoming immersed in the graphics of the game. But those same people who were being very, downplaying what Assassin's Creed Valhalla could potentially bring to the table are the same ones praising this tech demo from yesterday that's not even going to be a game. Yes, you could play it on your PlayStation 5 development kit if you have it, but it's just a tech demo at the end of the day. So I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited for tech demos and stuff like that. I know a lot of tech heads were probably very impressed with this, and of course it gives you a glimpse into the future of video games. However, the future is still a ways off, so I think people just need to keep their expectations in line with this. Definitely very impressive stuff, but Mafia Remaster was actually more interesting to me. But now let's get into the meat and potatoes, an actual video game, because Nintendo is just, they gotta be one of the weirdest companies in the world. Of course, there are heavy rumors that there's not going to be a Nintendo Direct in the month of June, and I think this pretty much confirms that we're not getting a Nintendo Direct anytime soon. But I don't really care. As long as Nintendo talks about games coming to the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Direct is just sort of the vessel to get the information out there. If they want to do things like stealth drop a YouTube trailer, make a tweet on Twitter, or send out a press release for a new game, they are more than welcome to do that. And well, that's exactly what they did today, because we have been talking, of course, about the 35th anniversary of Mario, and Nintendo seems to be planning a lot of stuff for the Nintendo Switch when it comes to this anniversary. One of those things was a new Paper Mario game was being heavily rumored as coming out in 2020, and well, there is. Paper Mario The Origami King is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and it's coming out very, very soon, as in July 17th. So obviously Nintendo does not care about a Nintendo Direct right now. Obviously, when we talk about things like Nintendo and just what's going on with real world situations, Nintendo is of course based out of Japan. Japan has a very sort of anti-work from home sort of mindset when it comes to things like that. Of course, the infrastructures aren't quite set up the way that they need to be for things like a full-on Nintendo Direct. We could sit here and debate whether that's true or not, but I feel like I don't really care. As long as Nintendo talks about games, that's the only important thing. So Paper Mario The Origami King, like I said, is coming out on July 17th, and this game looks absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, the last Paper Mario game we got was Paper Mario Color Splash, which I didn't really hate it. Like, yeah, it was kind of dumbed down a bit. I thought it looked nice, a solid 7 out of 10 game, but this game just looks absolutely fantastic. I love this visual style. Of course, when you look at the title of the game, The Origami King, origami is, of course, an ancient sort of paper style, art style, where you fold things up and make them, you know, little art creations and stuff. I remember there was this one kid in high school who used to do origami a lot in class, and you know, that was just sort of his thing. That's what he liked to do. So Paper Mario The Origami King, like I said, is coming out on July 17th. Obviously, there's going to be a very crazy story with this. You could tell by the trailer that we saw, but one thing a lot of people were interested in was the actual gameplay of the game, because that's where Color Splash sort of went down a bit. And Nintendo actually commented on the gameplay style of the game, and it's sort of up for debate how this is going to work out. Paper Mario The Origami King also introduces a new ring-based battle system that lets you flex your puzzle-solving skills to line up scattered enemies and maximize damage. While the enemies may be crafted from paper, these dynamic turn-based battles are far from stationary. It'll require a sharp mind to make short work of these crafty enemies, which is fine to me. You know, obviously they're not using like that sticker mechanic, it seems like, anymore, so that's a good thing. I didn't really like the whole sticker mechanic, but I think this game just looks very cool. Mario has a new ability called 1,000-fold arms, which allows you to interact with the environments that you're in, solving puzzles, revealing new locations and surprises along the way. And one very interesting thing about the Paper Mario The Origami King trailer has to be at the end of the trailer, because, well, there's a Metroid tease at the end of the trailer. Mario is wearing Samus's hat, and there's some little dialogue that happens within that, and so that's kind of got people wondering, well, is there going to be some Metroid Prime, you know, reveals coming up anytime soon? Why would they sort of throw that in there? You know, is it just sort of teasing people, or is there more to the situation with that? I'm not quite sure. You know, like I said, obviously a couple days ago on the channel we talked about how Metroid Prime's development team was, you know, bolstering their lineup of people, but all in all, this game just looks absolutely fantastic, I think, from a visual standpoint, and I think the gameplay sounds a little bit better. Obviously, we'll have to sort of get this game in our hands to see how that new battle system works, but I think it's very impressive that this game is coming out on July 17th. A lot of people, myself myself included, felt like Nintendo's first-party lineup for the year has been pretty dry. Personally, I wasn't super interested in Animal Crossing. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a great game, but I played it on the Wii, I played it on the 3DS. I'm not really in a rush to play this game again. However, Paper Mario The Origami King is an all-new experience. Obviously, Nintendo is going forward with this 35th anniversary of Mario as well, so now we're going to hopefully start talking about remasters and remakes in the Mario lineage, but I think this game looks really fun, and I think it holds a lot of potential. Let me know in the comments section down below if you will be checking out this game and if you are excited for it. Alright, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you think of everything. What do you think about the PlayStation 5 reveal yesterday of this new engine with Unreal Engine 5? Are you sort of buying into it? Do you think that, we're going to see games like this in the near future, or are you like me and do you think that games like this are probably a bit of a ways off? Mafia Definitive Edition! Why is nobody talking about this? Everyone should be talking about it. It looks like an awesome game. And of course, Paper Mario The Origami King. Are you stoked for this game? Are you looking forward to this game? Because I know I am. I think this is going to be a really fun summer game, and it's definitely something I'm looking forward to now. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be sure to check out other videos on the channel, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.